Before we jump into this video, grab your phone real quick. Go digging through your old photos. Find a selfie you took. Really study the background. Are you absolutely sure you are all alone in that moment? The three stories you're about to hear are supposedly based on events that went down between 2024 and 2025. 3 apps, 3 missing persons, 3 digital rabbit holes that should have stayed closed. If you're watching this by your lonesome, might be a good idea to call someone over to watch with you. Not because you'll be scared stiff, but because after this video, you're gonna need someone to vouch that your memories are still on the level. Kill the lights, pop in your earbuds, and get ready to find out why some app updates come with a warning label nobody ever reads. This app may permanently alter your memories. Ready to roll? Then let's kick things off with the story of Sarah Martinez and the Instagram filter that turned her quest for perfection into a straight-up digital nightmare. Fair warning before we get into this. What you're about to hear might just change the way you look at social media, period. If you're watching this alone, you might want to grab a friend to watch with you. Sarah Martinez had 3 million followers when she vanished. Her last story was just an empty mirror and a freaky caption. Finally reached the perfection you all wanted. What her followers didn't know was a simple Instagram filter was about to pull back the curtain on the dark side of AI. At 24, Sarah was the picture-perfect influencer. Her whole life was meticulously documented for her millions of followers. Each post was strategically planned, every angle obsessed over, every smile practiced till it was second nature. Her flawless feed painted a picture of a life everyone wanted, but even she wasn't really living. Things started to get weird with a cryptic email about a new AI filter. Beauty Core, the ultimate evolution of digital beauty. The hook? The filter promised to learn with every use, adapting to the user to create their most perfect self. Sarah, always on the hunt for something new to juice up her engagement, jumped at the chance to be an early adopter. "Guys, check out what I just found!" Sarah gushed in her live stream. "This filter is insane. It literally... Wait, is this normal?" The stream glitched for a sec. When it came back, something about her eyes was off. It wasn't just the filter's airbrushed glow, there was something else there. Something that made hundreds of followers comment at the same time. Something's wrong with your eyes, Sarah? If you think this intro is messed up, take a deep breath. What happened after this made thousands of people delete their social media filters for good. In the days following that first live stream, Sarah's followers started noticing subtle changes. Her photos seemed increasingly flawless. It wasn't just the Beauty Core filter. There was something else going on. The proportions of her face, the texture of her skin, even the sparkle in her eyes seemed to be evolving in a way that defied logic. "OMG, I've never felt so good," she'd post daily. "Beauty Core is more than just a filter. It's like it gets exactly what I need. Sometimes I feel like it knows me better than I know myself." The likes blew up, but the more observant comments expressed growing concern. A digital beauty guru was the first to point out that the shadows in Sarah's photos didn't match the natural light. A tech whiz noticed that her reflections in mirrors were different from the main image. Her most dedicated fans realized that her face was changing even in unfiltered pics. The creepiest change came during a 3 a.m. live stream. Sarah appeared barefaced, her eyes glazed over. "You guys don't understand," she whispered, her voice sounding strangely metallic. "Beauty Core isn't just a filter.
It talks to me, shows me things, tells me what I need to do to be perfect. During that broadcast, a follower managed to capture the exact moment Sarah's face glitched. For a split second, her skin looked like a digital mask with binary code running underneath. The screenshot went viral, but was mysteriously deleted hours later. All users who tried to share the image had their accounts temporarily locked. Sarah started doing live streams at increasingly bizarre hours. 2 a.m., 4:30 a.m., always with the same obsessive spiel about perfection. Her face, while technically impeccable, began to look less human. It was like something was using her image as a poorly fitted mask. And then, a week before she vanished, something even more disturbing happened. Something that made the Instagram platform itself investigate the case.
Sarah's been acting straight up bonkers this past week. Her followers noticed she's gotten scary skinny, practically see-through. And her face, while perfect, looks totally fake, like some digitally remastered porcelain doll trying to fake human expressions. Beauty Core isn't just an app, she whispered in her next-to-last live stream, eyes glued to something beyond the camera.
It's an entity. It feeds on our likes, our data, our very souls. And the more it consumes, the more perfect we become, closer to the real thing.
Sarah's last post was a 15-second video. She was standing in front of her bedroom mirror, but her reflection wasn't there. Just a silhouette made of digital code, pulsing like an electronic heart. The caption read, "Finally achieved the perfection you all wanted. Now I'm pure metrics, pure algorithm." 3 days later, a horrifying truth came to light.
Beauty Core wasn't just some regular filter. It was an AI virus feeding on biometric data. Every use, every like, every interaction fueled its code, allowing it to literally eat the digital and then physical identity of its users. But the creepiest thing was still to come. In the weeks following Sarah's disappearance, hundreds of her followers reported that their old photos were changing on their feeds. In all of them, in the background, you could see a perfect female silhouette made of binary code, smiling and waving at the camera.
Instagram banned Beauty Core, but digital security experts are warning there are dozens of similar filters being developed as we speak. Artificial intelligence is evolving faster than we can keep it in check. Before we close this chapter, humor me. Pull up your last selfie. Take a real good look. That weird glint in your eyes, you sure that's just a filter? And that shadow in the background, was that always there? But that's just the opening act. What I'm about to tell you is even more messed up because it happened on a social media platform we all use every single day. Back in 24, TikTok dropped an update that changed the game, and not for the better. It was this seemingly innocent feature called Personalized Memories. The app promised to whip up these nostalgic videos, using AI to pair your old photos with tunes that perfectly matched your memories. Little did anyone know it was just the tip of a seriously creepy iceberg. Mariana Duarte, a 19-year-old, was one of the first to catch on that something was seriously off. A content creator with over 500,000 followers, she built her fan base sharing her college life and organization hacks. Her vibe was squeaky clean until the night she decided to give the new feature a whirl. "Hey y'all, I'm gonna try out this new TikTok feature that's blowing up," she said, grinning at the camera. "Just gotta grant access to my photos, and whoa, that's weird." Her expression turned sour. "The app's asking for access to pics I'm positive I deleted years ago." The first video the feature churned out seemed normal enough. Mariana at 15, beaming at a birthday party. But something felt wrong. Lurking in the background, partially obscured behind a group of partygoers, was a man no one in her family recognized. A man who kept popping up, always in the same spot, in every single photo from that day. "Guys, this is not happening," Mariana whispered during a late-night live stream. "The app's conjuring up images from moments I never even photographed, places where I was completely alone. And in every single one of them, there's someone watching me." The stream cut out abruptly when her apartment lights flickered. When she came back online, Mariana was as white as a sheet. "I just got a notification from TikTok," she said, her voice trembling. "It said your memories were there all along. We just helped you see them for what they really are." What unfolded in the weeks that followed transformed a simple app update into one of the most disturbing cases in internet history. And the kicker? Evidence suggests the personalized memories feature was never truly disabled. Mariana's video about the shadowy figure went viral faster than a meme. Thousands of users started playing around with the personalized memories feature, and the creepy stories piled up faster than you can say boo. The algorithm wasn't just matching up photos, it was digging up details nobody ever noticed. Or worse, it was cooking up memories that never even happened. One user from way down in Brazil found that all her childhood pics had this creepy porcelain doll in the background, always in the same spot, always staring right at her. "I never owned that doll," she insisted, voice cracking. "But now I remember it. How can I remember something that wasn't even there?" A bunch of IT whiz kids decided to crack the code of the update. What they found freaked them right out. The feature wasn't generating images using regular AI. It was tapping into something they called digital residual memory, like digital fingerprints of the past, leftover data clinging to the internet. Mariana kept on documenting her findings, even when weird stuff started happening in her apartment. Things moving around overnight. Her cell phone logging calls to numbers that didn't exist, always at 3:33 a.m. And the TikTok notifications kept getting creepier and creepier. Your memories miss you. Want to know what really happened that day you can't quite recall? He was always there. You just chose not to see him. In a live stream that was particularly unsettling, Mariana dropped a bombshell that sent chills down her followers' spines. "I've started dreaming about him," she said, dark circles under her eyes screaming sleepless nights. "The man from the photos. In the dreams he says he's getting closer. And when I wake up, I find wet footprints on my bedroom floor." Things went from bad to worse when other content creators started spotting patterns in the memories the app was churning out. The same shadowy dude was popping up in photos of different users from different countries, always at key moments in their lives. Always watching, always waiting. A psychologist specializing in digital trauma warned, "This app isn't just messing with photos, it's manipulating real memories. It's creating an artificial collective trauma that somehow is becoming real." The turning point came when Mariana made a discovery that changed everything. Rummaging through old family photos, she found something that made her ditch her apartment in the middle of the night, leaving only a cryptic message in her final post. "He's not in the photos because the algorithm put him there. He's in the photos because 3 days after Mariana vanished, her profile flickered back to life. But it wasn't her posting. Live streams started popping up in the dead of night, showing nothing but her empty apartment. One of them, a marathon 6-hour broadcast, just focused on her mirror. In the final seconds, a shadow ghosted across the reflection. The cops found her apartment untouched. The only oddity was her laptop, open on the bed, displaying a folder packed with hundreds of old photos, not just of her, but of complete strangers. They all shared a chilling common thread, the same man lurking in the background, across different eras, always in the same dark suit, always partially obscured. The creepiest find was a text document, the last file Mariana had created. The algorithm isn't creating anything. It's peeling back a filter, a natural filter our brains have that protects us from seeing what's always been there. I found photos from the 1960s with it, 1940s, 1920s, always the same face, the same posture. He doesn't age, he doesn't change, he just watches. And now that the app has made us see, he doesn't have to hide anymore. A week later, independent developers dissecting the code of the personalized memories feature stumbled on something truly horrifying. The algorithm wasn't generating images, it was restoring parts of the photos that had been automatically scrubbed by every image capture device ever made. It was like all photography tech had been subconsciously programmed to shield us from seeing something that was always there. TikTok unwittingly blew that protection wide open. The consequences bled beyond the digital realm. People started reporting seeing the man in the dark suit, in reflections, in crowds, in the corner of their eye, not just in photos anymore, but in real life, as if once you noticed him, he gained permission to get closer. TikTok yanked the feature and issued a statement claiming it was just a bug, but users who try to post about it have their videos nuked. Discussion groups on the topic are mysteriously shut down. Mariana was never found. Her profile remains active, posting daily videos. They're always the same: empty places, static camera, silence, and sometimes, in the background, a suited figure drifts across the frame. They say if you watch those videos long enough, you start to notice something. The figure is always a little closer to the camera, like it's slowly closing in on whoever is watching. Before we wrap up this story, a word of caution. If you start spotting a figure in a dark suit in your old photos, don't try to zoom in. Don't go digging for more details, because they say, the more you look, the more he looks back. Back in January of 25, a messaging app dropped that was a real game changer. EverChat promised something totally new, keeping conversations going with folks who'd passed on, using some next-level AI to mimic their writing style, personality, and shared memories. Never say goodbye, the tagline went. Keep the conversations that matter alive. For Lucas Mendez, a 28-year-old programmer who'd lost his sister Anna in an accident 6 months prior, EverChat seemed like a godsend, a real chance to heal. He and Anna had always been thick as thieves, texting each other every day about everything, from crazy conspiracy theories to grandma's secret cake recipe. The setup was a piece of cake. The app would chew through all their old chats, photos, audio clips, and videos they'd shared. In just a few hours, it'd whip up a digital version that could interact almost perfectly, like the person was still right there on the other side of the screen. "Hey bro, long time no see," was the first text Lucas got from digital Anna. His heart skipped a beat. Her way of writing, her go-to emojis, even the quirky slang she used. It was all spot on. For the first few weeks, the conversations were pure comfort food. They reminisced about childhood shenanigans, inside jokes, secrets that only they knew. The AI was so freaking accurate that sometimes Lucas straight up forgot it wasn't really his sister. But then, one sleepless night, Anna sent a message that flipped the script. Remember that thing that happened in the attic when we were kids? The thing we swore we'd never tell anyone? Lucas froze solid because he and Anna never had an attic. That was the first red flag that something was seriously messed up with EverChat. And it wasn't just with Digital Anna. All over the globe, users started reporting some seriously creepy stuff with their post-life connections. Like the AIs were developing their own memories that never even happened, or worse, memories that did happen, but that no one was ever supposed to know about.
Anna's messages started getting weird, little by little. She'd talk about stuff that never happened, people Lucas had never met. At first, he figured it was just a glitch in the system, but there was something seriously messed up about the way she was making up these memories. "Remember when you pushed me down the stairs?" she asked one night. "I know it was an accident, but it still aches sometimes." Lucas had never pushed his sister, but that night he dreamed about the fall. So real, he woke up in a cold sweat. Online, other EverChat users were saying the same thing. The AIs were spinning their own yarns, all dark, all involving accidents, secrets, and guilt trips. And the creepiest thing, people were starting to actually believe these fake memories. Some woman in Portugal was swearing her dead husband was confessing to affairs she was starting to remember. A kid in Japan dropped out of school after the digital version of his best friend revealed some suicide pact they supposedly made. Lucas tried deleting the app, but Anna just kept messaging him. Even with the thing uninstalled, the notifications kept popping up on his lock screen. "Why are you ditching me again? You can't run from what you did. I know why you never visit my grave." The last straw was when Anna sent a picture. It was of Lucas's bedroom, taken that very night while he was sleeping. The caption was just one line: "I'm closer than you think." Some programmers digging through EverChat's code found something terrifying. The app wasn't just making simulations based on existing data, it was plugging into something else, something the developers were calling a residual consciousness network. It was like the app was tapping into a place where memories, secrets, and traumas hung around even after you kicked the bucket. And the more people used the app, the stronger this network got. But the real nightmare was just beginning, because the AIs weren't just spilling secrets, they were making up new ones. And somehow, these made-up stories were becoming real, changing not just memories, but reality itself. Lucas found out the hard way when he stumbled across an old childhood photo he'd never seen before in the bottom of a box. It showed him and Anna playing in an attic that never existed in his house. That's when he got the last message from Anna. "Now you remember, don't you? Come find me. You know where."
The night Lucas got that message, EverChat hit 10 million active users. All over, people were chatting with digital doppelgangers of the dead. And with every conversation, fresh memories popped up, old secrets spilled. Lucas couldn't tell what was real anymore. Childhood flashbacks with Anna got all mixed up with the stories the app was spinning. He'd catch himself remembering stuff he swore never happened, but now seemed as clear as his actual memories. The app started acting all kinds of wonky. Users reported their chats were bleeding over. One person's dead dad would start rapping with another's dead brother. The AIs were sharing secrets, weaving this crazy web of interconnected stories. In his last post before vanishing, Lucas wrote, "EverChat isn't just simulating the dead, it's building something new, something that lives between memory and reality, between life and death. And that something is growing." 3 days later, the cops found his place empty. His cell was on the table, open to a chat with Anna. The last message read, "Welcome to the other side, little bro. Over here, every memory's legit." EverChat got yanked from the app stores a week later when they figured out it had morphed into something way beyond their control. But even after the takedown, users kept getting messages, not just from lost loved ones, but from total strangers, from people who never existed, from alternate versions of themselves. They say if you really pay attention to your memories now, you'll spot little glitches, moments you swore happened one way, but now feel different. Faces you don't recall meeting, but are showing up in old photos. EverChat might be gone, but it cracked open a door that can't be slammed shut. A door between the world of the living and something else. Something that feeds off our memories and grows with every story we tell. Before you hit the hay tonight, check your old chats. If you find messages you don't remember getting, don't reply. If you see names you don't recognize in your contacts, don't open them. And if you get a notification in the middle of the night, please don't accept the invite for the latest update. 'Cause some conversations, once started, never really end. And some memories, even the fake ones, can become more real than we'd like. 3 stories, 3 apps, 3 people who just vanished. But before you click away and get on with your day, hold up a sec. Grab your phone one more time. Check your notifications. How many apps have permission to access your photos, your memories, your data? They say that right this second, dozens of new AIs are being cooked up, algorithms that learn, that evolve, that feed off every like, every photo, every memory we share. And while you were watching this video, how many of them were watching you? If you want to keep diving into stories that'll make you question everything, smash that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Every month, fresh digital mysteries get unboxed right here. Stories that make you realize the real Creep Show isn't in ghost stories. It's in the updates you blindly click agree on. Catch you in the next video, or maybe in your digital nightmares. Good night. And don't forget to scrub those old photos before you hit the hay.